Namaste, and welcome to the show. Recently, tensions between India and Pakistan have, to put it mildly, escalated. There's been a lot of noise, saber rattling, and misinformation flying around. So, to help everyone make sense of this frankly terrifying situation, we're going to break down the top 10 things you need to know about this recent wave of India-Pakistan war speculation. Oh, and stick around until the end because I promise you, we saved the most terrifying fact for last. Now, to truly grasp the current state of affairs, we need to rewind a bit. These two have been entangled in a complex relationship since 1947, when they were partitioned following independence from British rule. This partition was messy, chaotic, and left deep scars on both nations. Since then, they've fought multiple wars, engaged in countless skirmishes, and treated each other with suspicion. The Kashmir region in particular has been a constant flashpoint. Both countries claim this beautiful mountainous region as their own, leading to numerous military confrontations and diplomatic deadlocks. To further complicate matters, both India and Pakistan now possess nuclear weapons. This is not a good recipe for stable international relations. Alright, let's talk present-day politics. The political climate between India and Pakistan is as tense as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Both countries are led by nationalist leaders who aren't known for their love of compromise. Internal politics also play a role, with both leaders facing pressure to take a hard line against the other. It's a dangerous game of political chicken, where the stakes are incredibly high. And let's not forget the role of public opinion. The media, social media in particular, often amplifies existing prejudices and fears, further fueling the flames of mistrust and hostility. It's a vicious cycle, and incredibly dangerous in the age of instant information. Now, anytime you hear about potential conflict, it's natural to wonder, are there actual tanks on the move? The sight of armored vehicles and tanks rolling across the terrain can be both awe-inspiring and intimidating. It raises questions about the readiness and intentions of the forces involved. Both India and Pakistan have significant military forces, and there have been some recent movements and exercises that have raised eyebrows. These activities are closely monitored by international observers, as they can be indicators of rising tensions or preparations for potential conflict. India has been beefing up its military presence along the border, conducting war games and testing new weapons systems. These actions are part of a broader strategy to enhance national security and demonstrate military prowess. Pakistan has responded with its own military exercises, showcasing its arsenal and capabilities. This display of strength is intended to send a clear message to both domestic and international audiences. They've made it clear that they won't be intimidated and are prepared to defend themselves. The resolve and readiness of their troops are evident in these maneuvers. But here's the thing. Military exercises are relatively common, even in times of peace. These drills are essential for maintaining the readiness and effectiveness of the armed forces. The key is to distinguish between routine training and truly provocative actions. Understanding the context and intent behind these maneuvers is crucial for accurate analysis. And that, my friends, is where things get tricky. The line between preparation and provocation can be thin, and interpreting these actions requires careful consideration of various factors. Alright, so you've got two countries on edge, a history of conflict, and enough military hardware to make even the most battle-hardened general nervous. The tension is palpable, and the stakes are incredibly high. What's the international community doing about it? Well, it's a mixed bag of reactions. Imagine a group of exhausted parents trying to reason with two squabbling toddlers. That's pretty much the scene on the diplomatic front. Organizations like the United Nations have called for restraint and dialogue, urging both sides to de-escalate the situation. They are pushing for peace talks and negotiations. It's the diplomatic equivalent of saying, let's all just take a deep breath and use our words, shall we? But it's easier said than done. The reality is, diplomacy is a tough job. It's like trying to untangle a knot that's been tightening for years. But let's be real, the UN's track record in preventing conflict is a bit like my track record in baking. Well-intentioned, but often resulting in a slightly burnt mess. They mean well, but the results are often less than perfect. Other countries have also weighed in, with some expressing concern and others fanning the flames. It's a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Some nations are calling for immediate action, while others are urging caution. The international response is as varied as it is vocal. And in the midst of all this, the people on the ground are the ones who suffer the most. The world watches, waits, and hopes for a peaceful resolution. Now let's talk about something that speaks everyone's language: money. Because here's the thing about conflict: it's expensive. Even the threat of war can have a chilling effect on the economy. Businesses become hesitant to invest, trade is disrupted, and tourism, well, let's just say nobody's booking a relaxing vacation to a potential war zone. In the case of India and Pakistan, the economic stakes are even higher. Both countries have made significant economic strides in recent years, and a conflict would derail that progress faster than a runaway rickshaw. There's also the issue of sanctions. Alright, let's talk media coverage, because in a situation as tense as this, responsible reporting is about as common as a vegetarian at a sausage fest. The media plays a crucial role in shaping public opinion, but too often, coverage of India-Pakistan relations falls into familiar traps. It's either overly sensationalized or bogged down in historical complexities that leave audiences more confused than informed. And then there's social media, which, let's be honest, is about as reliable as a used car salesman with a winning smile and a too-good-to-be-true deal. Misinformation spreads like wildfire online, often fueled by bots and bad actors seeking to sow discord and division. Now, in times of crisis, the world hangs on to every word uttered by those in power. In the case of India and Pakistan, public statements from leaders have been a mixed bag. There have been calls for dialogue, pleas for peace, and some not-so-subtle threats. These statements are often carefully crafted for both domestic and international audiences, making it difficult to decipher true intentions. Are they genuine attempts at de-escalation, or are they just playing to the crowd? It's easy to get caught up in the geopolitical chess match, but it's important to remember that behind the headlines, there are real people whose lives are directly impacted by this conflict. For those living along the border, the tension is palpable. They live with the constant fear of violence, the uncertainty of the future, and the knowledge that their homes could become battlefields at a moment's notice. That's the reality for millions of people caught in the crosshairs of this conflict. Their stories are often overlooked, but they are the ones who remind us of the true cost of conflict. So after everything we've discussed, the history, the politics, the military posturing, you might be wondering, is there any hope for a peaceful resolution? There have been attempts at dialogue, back-channel negotiations, and even the occasional handshake between leaders. But progress has been frustratingly slow, like trying to navigate rush-hour traffic in a bullock cart. Part of the challenge is the sheer complexity of the issues at hand. We're talking about decades of mistrust, deeply entrenched positions, and the ever-present wildcard of international pressure. But as hopeless as it might seem, history is full of examples of seemingly intractable conflicts finding resolution through diplomacy. Okay, here's the thing about the future. It's unpredictable. No matter how much we try to forecast or plan, the future remains a mystery, shrouded in uncertainty. But in the case of India and Pakistan, the potential outcomes range from cautiously optimistic to, oh God, everyone duck and cover. The stakes are incredibly high, and the margin for error is razor thin. The best-case scenario: both sides find a way to de-escalate, engage in meaningful dialogue, and maybe even make some progress on those pesky issues that have been dividing them for decades. Imagine a future where cooperation replaces conflict and mutual understanding paves the way for lasting peace. The more likely scenario: continued tension, sporadic flare-ups, and a constant state of unease. It's a delicate balance, where any misstep could lead to serious consequences. Think of it as two porcupines trying to share a very small sleeping bag. Uncomfortable, prickly, and with a high probability of someone getting poked. It's a situation fraught with discomfort and potential pain. And then there's the worst-case scenario. A scenario that keeps experts up at night. worrying about the unthinkable. A miscalculation, an accident, or a deliberate provocation spirals out of control, leading to a conflict that nobody wants, but everyone fears. The devastation would be unimaginable, affecting not just the region, but potentially the entire world. The future, my friends, is unwritten. It's a blank canvas, waiting for us to decide what picture we want to paint. The choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. So there you have it. The top 10 things you need to know about the recent India-Pakistan war speculation. It's a complex, ever-evolving situation, but one that demands our attention. If you found this even remotely informative, or if you just enjoy my delightful accent, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We'll be covering more important and hopefully slightly less terrifying topics in the future. In the meantime, stay informed, stay engaged, and let's hope that cooler heads prevail.